There's a famous meme on the internet of Idris Elba sitting down that says, learn to sit back and observe. Not everything needs a reaction. And I've been doing that this past week when it comes to Josh Allen and the way the media treats him. But now I think it's time for my reaction, and it's very interesting to see how the media treats Josh Allen compared to his counterparts, specifically Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, or even some other quarterbacks that haven't won Super Bowls, and the way they treat him with kid gloves. He can't be criticized. Now, of course, he lost his playoff game to the Denver Broncos this past Sunday. It's Friday now, and of course that means he's been in the league, 7 years? And he's turning 30 years old, and he's never been to a Super Bowl. And this is just worse than 9/11 to some people. I mean, the excuses they're making for him are absolutely ridiculous. Now, to give you a backstory, the Bills are not a well-run team. Their GM is an idiot. It's not like he's playing with an all-star cast around him. He's playing with Keon Coleman, a.k.a. Cookie Man. If you know the Cam Newton meme, you'll understand that he's not good. He's a bust. They drafted him early on. Khalil Shakir is his number one wide receiver. He's not good. Brandon Cooks has been around the block for several years now. He's been playing in the NFL for well over a decade. These are not good wide receivers. So you have to give Josh Allen credit for getting them this far. That being said, he does have James Cook, who I believe led the league in rushing. He plays behind a very good offensive line. And the Buffalo Bills have a very good pass defense, although they don't have a very good run defense. So, listen, the Bills are a flawed team. It's not a super team like the Eagles in the past or the 49ers when Brock Purdy or Jimmy G were the quarterback. That's been established. That being said, when Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson is the best comparison because he's, these guys are both the second or third best quarterbacks in the league, whatever order you want to have them in. Whenever Lamar Jackson struggles in the playoffs or doesn't make the playoffs, we get memes where his face turns into James Harden or Joel Embiid, basically saying he's a playoff choker. He doesn't play well in the playoffs. But when Josh Allen struggles, it's everybody else's fault except his. And you just saw it in the way people were talking about him this week. First you had Dan Orlovsky go on TV and he was going over all the plays that went wrong, and he's like, look, Josh Allen fumbled before the half. The offensive lineman didn't fall on the ball. And it's like, really? You're criticizing the fat offensive lineman for not recovering the quarterback's fumble when he was holding the ball out like a grapefruit. Don't you think that's the quarterback's fault? You got Mike Greenberg. Keep in mind, Mike Greenberg is a Jets fan, so he hasn't seen an important football game in about 20 years now. He doesn't even know anything about the NFL. His favorite team is the Jets. He might as well be a Jacksonville State fan. That's how relevant the Jets are. But anyway, he goes on to say that this is a sin what's happening. Josh Allen is the best quarterback he's ever seen play. Really? He's not even the best quarterback in the league. Patrick Mahomes is better than him. Lamar Jackson is better than him. And even when Josh Allen won MVP last year, Lamar Jackson won the All-NFL first team vote, which is what is really, that the MVP is the narrative award, or the award that goes to the player that it's their turn to win the award. Whoever wins the All-NFL first team vote is basically whoever is the best at that position, and that's long been true. So it's just ridiculous, the standard that they hold others to and the excuses they make for Josh Allen. I mean, it really is amazing. And then you have Ryan Russillo who goes on his podcast and he says, I don't know what you guys want Josh Allen to do at some point. I mean, his defense gave up 33 points. Well, actually, buddy, no, they didn't. The defense gave up 16 points off of his turnovers. He had 2 interceptions, 3 fumbles. 2 lost fumbles, one of which gifted the Broncos a field goal at the end of the half, which was the difference in the game. So you're sitting here telling me that that the defense got shredded apart when that's just not true at all. The defense gave up 16 points off of the quarterback's turnovers. So the story all year long has been Josh Allen has carried this mediocre roster, and that's true. And, everybody says, well, he needed to be Superman, and that's true. But on Sunday, he didn't need to be Superman. He just needed to be good, and he wasn't. He was awful. So call it out for what it is. Next season, Josh Allen will be 30 years old. He'll have a kid by then. He's married, and he's never been to a Super Bowl. And you want to put him in talks with some of the best that's ever played, like Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. It's utterly ridiculous. Please stop doing this. The way the media covers this man is absolutely pathetic. He can do no wrong. He fumbles the ball, it's somebody else's fault. It's the offensive lineman's fault for not covering the ball, for not recovering the ball. He throws an interception, and it's like, oh, that's another thing. Sean McDermott, his ass is out of here. First of all, he's a hypocrite for running the QB, the tush push when he criticized it all offseason. Then they started using it, funny enough, more than the Eagles did, because the Eagles started to struggle with it. So the Bills started to use it more and more. Then, the controversial play happens in the game where it was a simultaneous catch and the defender came away with it. And Sean McDermott says, the NFL really has to look into that. Maybe that can be the next rule you change. He got fired, of course, so he won't be around to see it. But maybe Josh Allen can cry about that and get that rule changed. Maybe you can ban interceptions. Remember when they changed the overtime rules because Josh Allen and Sean McDermott and the Bills just cried and cried and cried about how, well, it wasn't fair. He didn't get the ball in overtime against Patrick Mahomes. That's what Bills fans cling to, that game. Well, if it wasn't for the 13 seconds or the refs or whatever, we would have won that game. We would have been to the Super Bowl or gone to the AFC Championship. I think that was a divisional game. But they always cry and cry and cry, and they changed rules. And funny enough, they did change the overtime rules. And guess what? Josh Allen is still 0-7 in overtime games in his career. It's the worst start in overtime games in a career. It's the record tied with Aaron Rodgers. So they changed the rule for him, and he still can't capitalize off of it. So that's just another funny tidbit. It's amazing. So next season will start, and Josh Allen will be 30 years old, and the reason he was crying was because he and the rest of the Bills knew that this was their best shot. All you had to do was beat Bo Nix, and you would have gone to the AFC Championship game to play Drake May. And now the Patriots, who were rebuilding for this 5 years of the Bills run, are probably going to get back to a Super Bowl before the Bills do. And at this point, if you're a Bills fan, I just don't know what you're doing with your life. I mean, you're 0-4 in Super Bowls. You lost 4 consecutive Super Bowls. You've had Josh Allen, who is apparently the greatest thing since sliced bread, and you haven't been able to get to a Super Bowl. And now Drake May, with Keyshawn Booty and the corpse of Stephon Diggs, is 1 win away from a Super Bowl while you cry about your supporting cast. So it's just funny to me. But it really is, it's funny to me to see all the people, Rex Ryan, Dan Orlowski, Mike Greenberg, Ryan Russillo, all these people, these well-respected NFL analysts act like this guy played no part in his team turning the ball over 4 times. 3 fumbles, 2 of which were lost, 2 interceptions to boot. He had a wide-open Dalton Kincaid he missed at the end of regulation. I mean, the list goes on and on. He played terribly. But suddenly all the people that are just like, oh, just watch the film, bro. Now they don't care. Now it's, oh, he had a bad game, but he's had to carry them all season long, so it's okay that he played badly in this game. Give it a break. Let's be honest. We all know these people have their favorite quarterbacks that they love to criticize. You can go down the list, and they have their golden boys, and Josh Allen is one of them. They won't criticize him. And look, Sean McDermott deserved to get fired. I think he's an idiot. But it's just another example of everybody else being held accountable except for Josh Allen. I don't expect Josh Allen to lose his job. He's a great quarterback. But how about you hold him to the same standard that you hold other people to? So that's it. It's just pathetic, but it's funny. Where do the Bills go from here? I don't really know. Give me a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you guys next time.